Okay. I am back. Look, if you have not watched the first video of the day, go back and watch it. It's exclusives. Make sure you watch that video, the first video of the day. It contains a lot. Go back and watch that before you come to this. Or anyway, you can finish watching this, then you go back and watch that. Remember to watch it. Because I need to hear from you in the comment section there. Okay? There are questions that I asked there, and I want to hear from you. I have not heard from most of you guys. Look, today a lot is at stake today. But we start with the Champions League. There were some interesting games. Newcastle is on fire. Newcastle finished PSG. Kylian Mbappe. My goodness. Newcastle. My goodness. Anyway, the result for last night games. Yeah. We start the result for last night game. Atletico Madrid 3, final 2. Atletico Madrid 3, final 2. Antwerp 2, Shakhtar Donetsk 3. Crvena Zvezda 2, Young Boys 2. Dortmund 0, AC Milan 0. Newcastle 4, PSG 1. My goodness. How did it happen? Newcastle 4, PSG 1. My goodness. RB Leipzig 1, Manchester City 3. If you were watching this RB Leipzig and Manchester City game, you'll be if you see what these guys did to Manchester City, it took Manchester City, and let me not talk much. Haland, so far, how many Champions League games? No goals yet. He's a human after all. Haland is a human after all. And you could see the frustration on him when he could not score. Haland. FC Porto 0, Barcelona 1. FC Porto 0, Barcelona 1. Celtic 1, Lazio 2. Yeah. Celtic 1, Lazio 2. Now, talk of town, for me, apart from Haland, that failed to score goals in the past 4 Champions League games, or 5 Champions League games. Yeah, 5 Champions League games. It makes him a human after all. He is not a goal machine after all. Most teams, we get scared when once we hear about Haland. Even in the Premier League, the day Chelsea is going to meet Manchester City, I've been thinking about it. How are we going to be dealing with Haland? I want to hear from you in that comment section. The day Chelsea will meet Man City, how do we deal with Haland? It's been something that I always get worried about. But now I notice that, after all, Haland is a human. And getting to Newcastle PSG, my goodness. I have seen the best part of Newcastle. And PSG approached the game in a bad way. They used 4 attackers in the game. And they could not, that's what their midfield was not stabilized. And in a game against a team like Newcastle, I think Luis Enrique did not study the style or the play of Newcastle. This is a pressing team. Newcastle is a pressing team. They press a lot. Luis Enrique did not study their game format. He lost the formation. He lost the game the game was lost from the bench. That's just it. With the squad that Luis Enrique have, they was also match Newcastle boot by boot. In fact, they have better squad compared to Newcastle. Put Kylian Mbappe aside. Name the other squad members, Dembele and co. One by one. Name the one by one. Newcastle, PSG has great squad to compete on all levels. So what happened? Luis Enrique lost the game in the first 11 that he started the game with. How? Newcastle 4. I'm happy for Newcastle anyway. I'm very happy. They came pressing. They played a pressing game, and PSG came in with 4 attackers. So their midfield and the midfielders could not support. The attackers failed to support the midfield. They were all just waiting for goals to score, just to move forward. They failed. They don't come back to support the midfield. midfield was weak. And so once the ball passed through the midfield, it's in the net. 4 goals. It's a shame anyway, because nobody expected this. I don't think anybody would predict, even those who bet. Maybe unless you bet a win, but not a goal line. Not a goal line. Then Dortmund-Milan 0-0 is expected. These two teams, they both are almost on the same level. So that should be expected. That should be expected. The two teams on the same level. So that should be expected. Well, exclusives. Barcelona will listen to offers for all first-team players as the club are still operating above 234 million La Liga imposed annual spending limit. You get that from me? You know, during the transfer window, there have been a lot of talks about Barcelona, whether they can spend more money or not to sign new players, whether they have the right, because they are already under sanction and they have a limited expenditure. But the president came up and said, oh, they can do it. They can even sign Felix. You know, all those talks, some of us, we believe that those were just talks, you know, to encourage the fan base. But it's been clear now that Barcelona will listen to offers for all first-team players as the club are still operating above the 234 million pound La Liga imposed annual spending limit. Yeah, that is an exclusive for you as you are waking up. Take it from me. Okay. To other news, Chelsea are turning this early season form around. I can feel it. All the players are fighting. Yeah, patterns are starting to emerge. I want to hear that Champions League anthem again. Come on, Chelsea. If you're a Chelsea fan, this is from me to you. I am beginning to, you know, have the hope and the belief. I'm beginning to have the hope and the belief. I want to hear that Champions League anthem again at Stamford Bridge. I'm telling you the truth. Okay, to Arsenal news. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Arteta on Saka injury. He tried to backheel a ball in the first half and he felt something. It's something muscular. He wasn't able to carry on. We don't know more, but it was big enough for us to remove him. This is why Saka was taken off the game yesterday. And so right now, as we speak, they are assessing him. You know, he just came back from injury also. So maybe he aggravated it again. We are not sure yet on Saka. Yes, and we can only hope that it will not be a serious injury. But if it is, then he should hold on until Chelsea play Arsenal. It's to Chelsea's advantage. Yes. Right now, anything that we can do, we are not wishing anybody bad. But anything that we can do to win our games, we need to move on. We must get to that level we want to get to as a football club. And so if Saka is injured, we also have a lot of players that are injured. Nkuku, one of our best players from the beginning of the season, he never touched a ball for us. Yeah. So if Saka has gotten injury and we have to play them in the next 3 weeks or so and he's not available, who cares? It's to our advantage because we know the danger Saka poses in a match. Okay. All right. The last but not the least. I'm trying to give you the one that will be, that will hit you. What will hit you is what I want to give you now. Okay? What will hit you is what I want to give you. Because right now as we speak, a lot is taking place. And in the coming hours, you will still get more news exclusively from who? Salon's blog. I am always available to deliver for you at the right time. I will not miss out. I will never miss out on my news to you. Exclusive. Okay, just before we go. Okay. Which one should I give you now? Okay, this is from Chelsea FC Johnny B. Boasting about qualifying for the Champions League only to use the games to get more losses and more injuries. No, that will not be coming from Chelsea. That will not be for Chelsea. No more injury for Chelsea. We are going and we are going to do what? We are going and we are going to do what? Play our game and win our game. Ivan Toney makes goal scoring return to football after Arsenal learned January asking price. So if we are still keeping our eyes on Ivan Toney, he is back and he's already scoring goals. I'll give you full detail of that in my next episode. Watch out for that. Ivan Toney, I've been searching for that to deliver for you. I'll give you full details of that in my next episode. Stay tuned because I'll be back in 3 hours' time. Shalom and peace.